In this section of video, we discuss how to find the domain and range of the modulus functions. For example, we have a question fx is equal to mod of x minus 3 and we have to find its domain and range. As we know earlier, anything which is written under the modulus function, its answer always comes as positive. For example, we have minus 3, then its answer is plus 3. If we have minus 6, then its answer is plus 6. For example, if we have mod of plus 3, then again we have the answer is plus 3. That means everything which is kept under modulus, its answer is always in positive value. So, fx is defined as for all the values of x which are real numbers. So, if we put any value of x in the above function, we always get a positive answer, that is a real number. So, the domain of the function mod of x minus 3 is always a real number. Now, in order to find the range, how will you find the range? The mod of x minus 3, always its answer is greater than 0 for all the values of x. So, mod of x minus 3 must equal to 0 or greater than 0. Its value is lies between greater than 0 or equal to 0, and it is up to the infinity. It is less than infinity. So, this function is in between from 0 greater than or equal to x minus 3 and less than infinity. So this function, the value of this function lies between 0 to infinity. Now here we observe that the 0 is included in the answer. Okay, because the sign is greater than or equal to, both signs are put in case of 0. So its range, for the writing the answer of the range, we use the square bracket before the 0 and the small bracket for the infinity. That means the value of 0 is always also included in the answer. So its range is square bracket 0 comma infinity small bracket. Now if we have to find the domain and range of another function, fx is equal to minus modulus of x minus 3. Now here in front of modulus, outside the modulus, we again have the minus sign. So fx is defined for all the values of x which are belong to real numbers. We always get the answer for any value of x. So its domain is again the real numbers. Now, in order to find the range, as we know, the modulus of x minus 3 is always greater than 0 for all the values of x which are real numbers. And the modulus of x minus 3, the value of modulus of x minus 3 is lies between uh, greater than or equal to 0 and less than infinity. But if we put the minus sign in front of modulus of x minus 3, then its value lies between minus infinity up to less than 0, because we have the value of minus x minus 3. For example, if we give the value of x 1, then what is the answer? 1 minus 3, that is minus modulus of minus 2. That means we get minus 2. For example, just watch this sentence. For example, if we give the value of x as 1, then the value of minus x minus 3 is what? Volume of, I will write it over there. For example, if we give the value of x as 1, then its value is minus 1 minus 3, which is equal to minus 2, which is equal to minus, then it is 2. That's its value is minus 2, which is less than 0. For example, if we give its value x is equal to 0, then what we get? It is 0. Then what we get? It is minus 2. Then what we get? It is 3, which is equal to minus 3, which is again less than 0. So, for example, if we give the value of x is 5. Okay, then for example, if we give the value of x minus 3, then what we get? Minus 3 minus 3. Then what is the answer? Minus 6. Then again, what is the answer? Minus, it is 6. So again minus 6, which is less than 0. So all the values of minus x minus 3, it lies from minus infinity and less than 0, not equal to 0. It is less than 0 and from minus infinity. So the value of the function lies between minus infinity to 0. So its range becomes minus infinity to 0, and we use the small brackets over here. Now the next question I'm going to explain with you. Now the next function is fx is equal to 3 minus mod of x minus 2. So fx is defined for all values of x. That means we can put any values of x and we can get the answer for that value of x as fx. So the domain of the function fx is all the real numbers. So the domain of this function is all again the real number. Now how will we find the range for this function? Now how will we find the range for this function? Now as we know the value of modulus of x minus 2, it always lies between 0 to infinity. Its value always may be greater than or equal to 0 and less than infinity. Now, in our question, we have minus sign over here. So, when we write minus sign outside the modulus, then its value lies from minus infinity. That means its value must be greater than minus infinity, but may or may not be equal to 0. That means it may be less than 0 or equal to 0 for all the values of x which we put over here. Now, again in the function, what we have? 3 minus x minus 2. Now we put the value of 3 over here. So we again write it over 3 minus infinity and 3 minus x minus 2 and here 0 plus 3. That means we add 3 at all the positions. Now, if we subtract minus infinity with 3, that means it is somewhere it has the value of minus again. So it is value always lies from minus infinity, and but here 0 plus 3, that means its value must be less than or equal to 3. Its value must occupy one or two positions or even three positions. So now the range becomes from minus infinity to 3. Okay. Note this position, when you add 3 over here infinity, then there is nothing else. It becomes again minus infinity. But on the side of 0, we use the value of 3. Okay. So in this way, you can find out the domain and range of the modulus functions. Now if we have the function mod of x minus x upon 2x, and we have to find the domain and range for this function. For the domain of these functions, the denominator must not be equal to 0. So 2x must not be equal to 0, that is x not equal to 0. So domain is equal to real number minus 0. When one of the element should not be there, then real number minus that element. Now we have to find the range. So for the range, fx is equal to mod of x minus x over 2x when x is greater than or equal to 0. Then minus x over 2x when x is less than 0. So its value is minus x. So when we solve it, what we get? When it is greater than 0. So for example, if we find if it is greater than, if we take the value of x is equal to 1, and here we take that value of x is equal to minus 1. So when we take x, value of x is 1, we get 1 minus 1 over 2 which is equal to 0 by 2 which is equal to 0. For the second case, we get we write it as it is. So this is minus 1 over 2 into minus. What we get? We get 1 plus 1 over minus 2, which is equal to 2 over 2, which is equal to minus 1. So its value of range is 0 to minus 1. So range is 0 to minus 1. So in this way, we find the domain and range of these types of modulus functions. Similarly, if we have to find the domain and range of this function modulus of mod of x minus 4 upon x minus 4, then how we will find it? So in order to find the domain, put denominator not equal to 0. So x minus 4 not equal to 0. So x is not equal to 4. So domain is all the values of x is equal to real number except 4. So all the values of x of real numbers are domain except the 4 because for the 4 its value becomes 0. Now in order to find the range, now fx is equal to mod of x minus 4 over x minus 4 when x is greater than equal to 0, mod of x minus 4 over x minus 4 when x is less than 0. So for example, it is greater than 0, then we can take it as x is equal to 1 and here we take it x is equal to minus 1. Substituting these two values, what we get? We get 1 minus 4 over 1 minus 4. What we get? Mod of minus 3 over minus 3, that is we get the answer minus 4. As here we get 3 over minus 3 which is equal to minus 4. Similarly, for the second case, when we put x is equal to minus 1, we get minus 1 minus 4 over minus 1 minus 4. What we get? We get over here minus 5 over minus 5 and we get the value 5 over minus 5, that its value becomes minus 1. If we take the value of x, not equal to 0, take the value of x greater than or equal to 4 or less than or equal to 4, then what we observe? In that case, we take the values greater than 4 or less than 4. When we take value greater than 4, what we get? Fx is equal to, for example, 5 minus 4 over 5 minus 4. Then we get value of 1 over 1 which is equal to 1. So for the second case, when we take the value of x less than 4, then we get 3 minus 4 over 3 minus 4. Then we get mod of minus 1 over minus 1 which is equal to 1 over minus 1, that is minus 1. So its range lies from 1 to minus 1. So in this way, the modulus function, domain and range of modulus functions are find out. Thank you.